Hey, welcome to my channel, Math Dumb Down. In today's video, I'm going to solve a problem from simple equations. The question is, in X minutes from now, the time will be 10 p.m. 80 minutes ago, the time was 4x minutes after 4:30 p.m. Find the present time. Simple equation is a topic we deal with in all our training sessions as the first topic, because every problem, as you know, whether it's from time and distance or time and work or average, whatever, will finally end up in some or other equations, mostly simple equations and sometimes quadratic equations. Simple equation or quadratic equations. Quadratic equation is a topic which is very important for bank peers, and I've seen a lot of questions from quadratic equations. So we will exclusively deal with this topic at a later stage in some other video. Now let's focus on simple equation. Okay, and this problem is based on simple equation. Now, what do you mean by simple equation? An equation that's simple? No. We classify the equations into simple and quadratic based on the degree of the equation. So, what does degree of an equation mean? To make this idea clearer, look at this equation. 2x plus 3y equal to 5. As you can see, there are two variables. Then look at the power of the variables involved in the equation. X is 1, y is 1, which we don't normally write. Rather, the highest power of the variable in this equation is 1. So if the degree of an equation is defined as the highest power of the variable in the equation, so if it is 1, we call it simple equation. Now let's look at another equation. Look at this. There is only one variable in this equation, and the highest power of the variable is 2. Rather, we say this as the degree of the equation, and if the degree is 2, we call it quadratic equation. Before looking at the solution I'm going to share with you, you may pause the video, take a close look at the problem, and try to solve it yourself if you feel like. Okay, let's get started with the solution. Now, read the question again. They say in X minutes from now, the time will be 10 p.m. 80 minutes ago, the time was 4x minutes after 4:30 p.m. So there are 2 points of time here, 4:30 p.m. and 10 p.m. Now, let's find out the duration of time between these points of time. As you can see, there are 5.5 hours from 4:30 to 10 p.m. Now, here also it's p.m. Now the question, they use minutes, say 80 minutes. So let's convert this into minutes by multiplying with 60. On simplification, you will get 330 minutes. So there is 330 minutes between 4:30 and 10. Now, what is it that we are asked to find out? Present time. So the present time is obviously in between these two. Let's mark it here, present time. They say in X minutes from now, time is 10 p.m. That means from now means present time. Supposing, I don't know what time it is now, let it be 10 a.m. If I say in 10 minutes, it will be 10 a.m. Then what will be the present time? 9:30. In the same way, they say in X minutes from now, the time will be 10 p.m. So the present time, if you choose somewhere here, after that, I mean X minutes after the present time, time is going to be 10. Now what else does it say? It is stated that 80 minutes ago. That means you are going back by 80 minutes. Obviously, if there is one point of time here, 80 minutes ago, it will be some other time. Let it be somewhere here, 80 minutes. Now, this time, again, we don't know what it is. As long as we don't know what present time is, you can't identify this time. But this time in the problem is stated to be 4x minutes after 4:30. That means this time you reach if you add 4x minutes to 4:30. Now, what do you see here? We have divided the whole stretch of time between 4:30 and 10 p.m., which is 330 minutes, as you found it to be. We have divided that into three parts. One from here, one from here to here, and the other from here to this point. Now, let us sum up these three times. Everything is in minutes, of course. And that will be the whole time between 4:30 and 10, which is found to be 330 minutes. Okay, now the whole problem has been converted into a simple equation like this. Now the rest of the problem is to solve this equation and find out x. But before I conclude the whole thing, there are a couple of points I would like to share with you. See, whatever be the problems you get in quantitative ability, it could be from various different topics like, time and distance, time and work, averages. Basically, there are two parts to any quants problem. One, using the data in the problem. Okay, there is a quantity to be determined. That's the first part. We normally take it as some variable, say x or y, or whatever you want. In case of there being two variables to be determined, you can take it as x and y. If there is only one variable, let it be x. And what do you do next? There are some data given in the problem. Whatever be the topic it's taken from. Using the data given in the problem, you're framing equations around these variables. And once you get the equations ready, what is the next part? You solve it. So there are two parts. One is to frame an equation. The other is to solve an equation. Solving an equation is relatively easier. If you're not so comfortable with solving equations, you got to do a lot of problems, practice a lot, and you make it thorough. I mean, you'll get a thorough understanding on how to solve an equation fast. Of course, the other part, framing an equation, is not so easy as I make it out to be, because it involves a lot of concepts which you will study later in different topics, and you use these concepts and the other data given in the problem, and combining all these, you frame equations, which is a slightly different, tougher area. This skill is to be acquired slowly when you go into different topics. But solving is a common thing. Framing differs from topic to topic, whereas solving an equation is very basic and very common. You should be thorough with that. Now let's come to this. This is a very simple equation, and this problem I stated here to show you the meanings of framing an equation and solving an equation. Now, this is the equation. We have finally got it. Look at it. Combine these two. What do you get? 5x plus 80 equal to 330. Generally, what do you do in solving an equation? Keep the variables on one side and constants on the other side. Now there is an 80, which is a constant. Take it to the right side. What do you have? 5x equal to 330 minus 80. Okay, let me write it somewhere here. It will be clearly visible to you. 5x. On the right side, what do you have? 330 minus 80, 250. So x is equal to 250 by 5 equal to 50. 50 what? Because x is assumed to be the minutes from the present time till 10 p.m. So we will be getting 50 minutes. So what does that indicate? What are we asked to find out? Present time. They say present time, we don't know what it is, but from the present time, after a passage of so many minutes, you will reach 10 p.m. So the present time is clearly what? It should be 9:10 p.m. Look at this. If you add 15 minutes to 9:10, what do you get? 10. So 9:10 p.m. is the present time. Now, I hope you have understood clearly every step I have listed here. If there is any point which you are still unable to follow, please raise that in your comments and I'll address it and all your suggestions are welcome on various topics which you want me to deal with in my other videos. Thank you.